Hello everyone, I'm VAISHNAVI with my matrix number A188062. Would like to present our research regarding the factors affecting the mental health issue of entrepreneurs in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic. This research aims to study the factors that affecting the mental health issue of entrepreneurs in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic. Mental health is a state of person recognize his or her abilities, either can perform under normal pressures, can cope with life's difficulties, and can contribute to society according to the World Mental Health of Medical Community. Furthermore, anxiety, stress, dread, tension, and sleep difficulties become increasingly widespread during the COVID-19 epidemic. Entrepreneurs who suffer from depression or anxiety are not accepted. Malaysia is one of the top 10 countries for Asia-Pacific entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs' mental health is said to be being negatively damaged at this time. Many countries have discovered sad moods among entrepreneurs and mental health issues, stress and anxiety. Throughout this epidemic, the increasing mental health issue become more common among entrepreneurs in several nations, harming their mental health. Samples of this study will be taken from entrepreneurs in Malaysia.
Next, problem statement. Mental health is important and can be described as behavior of people. During this pandemic COVID-19, it affects everyone, including workers, school, government, and all around the world. Mental health is also affect to the entrepreneurs at some stage in pandemic COVID-19. Pandemic COVID-19 show that there are many reasons it will influence the mental health of the entrepreneurs. It influences economy and business because of a few restrictions. The problem that they face are financial problem that the entrepreneurs have due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Secondly, the family status of the entrepreneurs. Thirdly, due to the restriction of business. Some entrepreneurs may have limited finances and are unable to pay the necessities to run the business. This also contribute to the worsening of the entrepreneur's mental health. For business, due to some restriction that the entrepreneurs must face, such as managing time and finding capital, also makes the mental health of the entrepreneurs worse.
Hi, my name is ASHIVINI. Research objective and questions. The main objective of this research is to study the factors that affect the mental health of entrepreneurs during COVID-19 pandemic, which is to examine the relationship between business and mental health, family and mental health, and lastly, financial issue and mental health of entrepreneurs from Malaysia. These research questions of this study are: what is the relationship between factors and mental health of entrepreneurs from Malaysia?
Research significance. This study will conduct to determine the impact of mental health issue during the COVID-19 pandemic on entrepreneurs in Malaysia. It is hoped to help entrepreneurs resolve growing mental health issues not only in terms of mental health but also affecting the business management environment. The research approach can be emulated by other researchers in examining the impact on mental health issues that affect entrepreneurs. This will help increase the understanding of other researchers interested in investigating the impact of mental health issues, particularly on entrepreneurs in the field of entrepreneurship broadly and more.
The scope of a study means that we must define what the study will cover, which is mental health, and what it will focus on, which is to investigate the effect of mental health issues during the COVID-19 pandemic on entrepreneurs in Malaysia. So for the success of our study, we will conduct it using quantitative and qualitative method, where we will distribute questionnaires to 100 people involved, and especially small business owners, retailers, and entrepreneurs in Malaysia. In our study, we will use 3 chapters on the subject we took, namely research methodology. Among the chapters are involved in our study is chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, which can help and guide us to finish our study. Like we can find out what the importance and scope of the research business are. We can also explain what research is and how it is defined with our own understanding. We can find out the methods that need to be used to succeed in a study. We also can understand the first step step in the business research process.
Moving to the key concept theory and study the concept, we explore what the researchers discuss on the both independent variable and dependent variable, which are mental health, family and financial issues that affect the mental health of entrepreneurs. Furthermore, we will explore more on what the researchers is and go with greater details on the dependent variable and independent variable of the research. According to COR theory, personal psychological stress will occur when their resources are threatened with loss, their resources are actually lost, or they fail to gain significant resources following significant resources investment. According to the study, this paper finds that the pandemic will significantly increase the mental health issue of entrepreneurs. Firm performance will moderate the relationship between the pandemic and entrepreneurs' contribution depending to the business. Specifically, the better the performance of the firm, the greater the negative impact of the pandemic on entrepreneurs.
This study's dependent variable is entrepreneur's mental health. The dependent variable has a significant impact on the independent variable. Next, what about the independent variable? That factors are independent variable, which is relationship between business and mental health of entrepreneurs in Malaysia. Relationship between family and mental health of entrepreneurs in Malaysia. Study found that family function is positively associated to their mental health, and good communication and family division among family members have a subtle influence on the mental health levels. Then, relationship between financial issue and mental health of entrepreneurs in Malaysia.
Next, gaps in existing knowledge. A research gap is the lack of understanding or a loss of not enough facts that has no longer been explored inside the subject of the studies. Knowledge has to do with what is understood approximately the problem of the situation at the same time as the gap concern information that also wants to be known. If the research problem address a related issue, then there may be a gap in information and literature that desire to be stuffed by undertaking further studies on the other correlates to offer complete information on the problem. A study may be achieved longitudinally with suitable follow-up. It is able to equally be carried out over a quick period using descriptive, comparative, correlation, and study case.
In research, theory refers to a theory developed by researchers to explain phenomena, make connections, and predict outcomes. Based on our study, we found that there are two theories that are relevant to the matter we study. The first one is humanistic theory, which means this thinking is frequently associated with a stand center on human action. The second one is psychoanalysis theory, which is a collection of theories and therapeutic technique that, in part, deal with the unconscious mind and, when combined, form a method of treating mental disorder.
Research design is to study the research question and the research objective by using a conceptual framework. In this research, quantitative research is the indicated as the primary approach for the investigating the research question and objectives, which include identifying the relationship between the independent component, business, family, and financial issues that dependent value the mental health of entrepreneurs in Malaysia. Primary data will be gathered directly from the respondent via Google Form questionnaire created by our group that related to this study. Okay, methods and solution. Firstly, research instrument. As a result, everyone in the target audience can complete the questionnaire using Google Form. We will be using online platform, which is by email, to distribute the questionnaire to entrepreneurs in Malaysia. There are 4 sections. Section A consists of demographic question based on the respondent details. Section B consists of question to about the effect of the business to entrepreneurs' mental health. Section C consists of question to about the effect of family on entrepreneurs' mental health. Section D consists of question to about the effect of financial issues on entrepreneurs' mental health. In this study, the questionnaire will be given using format of Likert scale. The questionnaire consists of 5-point Likert scale to be used for Section B and Section C, while Section D is a yes or no questions. Sampling. Population of the study. For this study, the target demographic are 750 entrepreneurs from Malaysia. Sample size 368 respondents have been chosen as a sample size for this study to reflect the whole population. As a result, the 450 sample size is the appropriate for our study sample size as well as our population size sampling procedure. Even in this study, basic gender sampling is used to determine the population respondent among entrepreneurs in Malaysia. A sample size of 450 respondents are necessary for this study's population.
For the purpose of this research, our research data will be analyzed as well. The data from the 384 sets of questionnaires will be collected and analyzed using the statistic program for the social sciences SPSS version 26.0 PASW computer software package. The use of the computer software can reduce data collection time and make quantitative analysis faster and easier. Furthermore, SPSS was used to analyze the data since it ensured that the data is analyzed to a high standard of quality.
Next, data sources. Data sources can consist of information that is already gathered and record, a good way to be collected throughout the study. Data sources may be used to explain specific fact collection, technique or tools. This research study adopts the quantitative approach. This quantitative research approach is used to emphasize objective measurement and the statistically, mathematically, and numerical evaluation of data arising through questions and surveys among entrepreneurs. That's all from me. Thank you.
Practical consideration. Concerned organizations and policymakers should consider mental health risks to entrepreneurs when responding to the COVID-19 outbreak, especially in the new entrepreneurial population. As part of a broader plan, technological solution as well as motivational approach from family members and friends can also make a difference in reducing mental health issue. The solution should be acceptable and used by new entrepreneurs in the business world. The preparation of materials, schedules, training process, time and counseling guidance may be required to implement a coaching and motivation-based plan. However, for some communities and individuals as entrepreneurs, a technology-independent approach may be more effective.
So, according to the theoretical implication, our study beneficial the entrepreneur of Malaysia, where the entrepreneur is able to see the factor and issues that affects mental health through the drops of business, family, and financial issue. Entrepreneurs can overcome the mental health issue by doing muscle relaxation, which can particularly help the entrepreneurs to adapt the mental problem and have relaxation efforts and can stimulate the mind as well. Stay positive during the pandemic phase will release the mental stress and manage the upcoming endemic revolutions effectively. Increase the family bonding by making humors and laughers altogether are great stress reliever and promote well-being between families. On the other hand, make a plan and reduce unnecessary expenses to avoid mental stress in financial issues. This research ensures the entrepreneurs have to manage and have the willpower to overcome the stress during COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.
Practical implication. In order to explore our study, which is to examine the factors that affecting the mental health issue of entrepreneurs in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic, we have done searching, observing and surveying articles and journals that related to our case study. These processes are taken in order to know how business, family and financial issues influencing the entrepreneur's mental health during the pandemic.